sunshines, happy new year's. First video of the year, and I'm feeling like this is gonna be a great year for all of us. Just like me, I know that a lot of people have New Year's resolutions. I mean, it's kind of like the thing that we do when we begin the year, just with goals that we want to accomplish for the year. And for a lot of us, getting fit and being healthier is one of our New Year's resolutions. Currently, the fitness industry is very much saturated, and there's a lot of information out there that for a new person or for a beginner, it could be very overwhelming to try to figure out what the best way to achieve your goals is. I just figured I would make this video for you guys just to give you some tips to help you in the path of becoming healthier in your fitness journey. And before I start, I do want to make sure that I let you guys know that everyone's journey is different. This was something that was honestly very hard for me to understand. I used to always compare myself with all the other fitness gurus out there, and I was always trying to use their diets. And the thing is, you gotta get familiar with your own specific body, mind, and spirit. Everyone is different. Tip number one is start small. Crash diets and excessive exercise is not very realistic. If you want to become healthier, it has to be a lifestyle change. And therefore, you have to do things that are realistic, things that you can do every single day. If you work out 5 hours a day, eventually you're gonna burn out. Let me break it to you guys. Getting fit is not something that happens overnight. So it is very important that you start small, okay? You don't want to get your body so exhausted. You don't want to restrict yourself from eating all the good foods all at once and go cold turkey on things, because what eventually is gonna happen is you're gonna want to go back to your old ways. So if you're trying to eat healthier, start with little things. When I used to be obsessed with Mountain Dew. It was my thing. I used to drink Mountain Dew every single day. Well, I started by cutting off the amount of soda that I would have until eventually I don't drink soda as much anymore. So maybe, going from 3 cans of soda to 1 can of soda a day, that might be a start for you. If you want to work out, make sure instead of doing 5 or 6 times a week, start small. Start with 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Just get your body used to it slowly so that it becomes a habit and it becomes your lifestyle. So that way it doesn't feel like a chore. It just feels like it's something natural. Second tip is to track your macros. Looking back at a few years ago, I used to post a lot about the foods that I would eat and I would cook for myself, and I thought that I knew what healthy eating was. And it wasn't until I started tracking my macros and tracking my foods that I realized that a lot of the things that I was putting into my body weren't exactly the healthiest. You gotta make sure that you look at the integrity of the calories, not just the numbers. Counting down the calories, which is what I used to do when I started this whole thing, wasn't really very successful for me because I was using foods that I thought were good because of the calorie number, but I didn't realize that they had 0 nutrition value. So you guys gotta make sure that it's not about the calorie number, but more about the carbs, the grams of protein, the grams of fat, sugar. It is important that you track those things rather than tracking the number. It's just a big example. 100 calories of kale compared to 100 calories of a chocolate bar is definitely not the same. Kale will obviously have more nutritional value for you. So don't get fixated with the calorie number. It's just not gonna get you anywhere. So one thing I do recommend, and I think I've mentioned this in my previous videos before, for my tracking macros, I like using MyFitnessPal. In here, I actually get to customize whatever calories or how many calories I want, how many carbs I want to put in, how many proteins, how many sugars. I can put that in myself, and then I can establish how much calories I should have a day. Now, if you're not sure how many carbs, how many proteins, how many sugars or fats you should have, then I do recommend that you go online. There's a lot of different websites that can help you determine what macros you should have. And honestly, if you do have any questions, there's a lot of different informations out there and different macro calculators out there. I know that bodybuilding.com has one. The ones that where I get it from is from a different website. I can't think of the name right now, but I'll make sure to put it in the description as well. You just put your age, your height, your fitness goal, how much you work out, and it's gonna determine for you what macros you should have rather than just the calorie numbers. It's gonna determine determine what the right amount of carbs is, the right amount of proteins is, and the right amount of fats it is for you. Being able to track your macros is gonna assist you to knowing what you should eat. You know, now I'm at a point where I can determine from there, because I've been tracking it for so long, I don't need to track it as much anymore because I do have an idea of what the right portions of things are now. So I don't have to track it strictly as I did when I started my journey. So make sure that you guys don't get fixated in the number, but make sure that you do track your macros so that you can learn a little bit more about what you're putting in your body. Number 3, set a realistic goal. I know that when we started the year, we want to lose all the pounds in the world. You gotta make sure that you're realistic. Whether you want to be stronger, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to gain muscle, whatever goal it is that you set, make sure that it is realistic, okay? One thing that I do every single week, I have a planner, and I think I left it upstairs, but I have a planner, and for that week, I put my goals of what I want my body to look like, how many pounds I want to lose, or how many inches I want to lose, or how strong I want to get on my squats or my bench press, or whatever it is, I put it there. I set up my goal for a month from now, 6 months from now. That way I can hold myself accountable. When I first started, the most important thing for me was my weight. I thought that it was important for me to lose weight. Now that I'm more comfortable in my own skin, I am more comfortable with getting stronger. I'm working towards squatting a lot more and losing inches, you know, changing my pant size. So I have different goals that I used to do back then. But if you want to start, just make sure that you start with something small. Make sure that you write it down somewhere, that you can see it every day. So that way, when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what I need to do. I need to do these things in order for me to accomplish my goal. Also, be sure that you're patient with whatever goal it is that you're setting. As I said before, you're not gonna become fit overnight. That was my big issue. I would work out for a month and then I thought that I didn't see results, therefore I stopped working out. If you do the right things, if you eat healthy and you work out, or you do some sort of activity, I promise you, over time, you're gonna feel better inside and you're gonna feel better outside. Number 4, track your progress. One of the reasons that people stop working out is because they think that they do not see progress. If you see yourself every morning in the mirror, as the days go along, you're not gonna notice the changes that are happening in your body. There's different ways that I track my progress. Number 1, I take pictures. Progress pictures are big. And I know when you first start, it could be a little bit uncomfortable to take pictures because you're not feeling 100% comfortable with your body. But keep those pictures for yourself. I promise, as the months go along and you start adding up more progress pictures and you start seeing the results, you're gonna feel so good about everything that you're doing, and it's just gonna motivate you to continue and do even better. If you have somebody that you feel comfortable enough to take a picture of you, then definitely let them go ahead and take the picture of you. But if you don't feel comfortable, then grab a tripod and do it yourself. I personally don't feel comfortable having other people take my progress pictures just because I feel self-conscious, obviously. But I always just put my tripod, I take a picture, different sides. I try to use the same clothes, and I try to do it once a month, and I do it a specific, you know, in the morning before I eat, and I keep it consistent so that way I can see my progress. That's one way I track my progress. The second way I track my progress is by inches. So I measure myself, my waist, my arms. Every 3 weeks I measure myself again so that I can see how much my legs have grown, my waist has gotten smaller, and I can see a more realistic progress. I recommend that you guys do this every 3 weeks, once a month. Why? Because your body will fluctuate depending on your water weight, depending on the kind of foods you're having. If you're a girl, depends if you're on your period or if you're not on your period. So just make sure that you try to do this, you know, once a month, once every 3 weeks. Because what happens is if you track your body, you try to do your inches every single day, you're not gonna notice as much progress at first. The only thing that it's gonna do is make you feel discouraged. Now, the third way that I track my progress is definitely using the scale. I don't follow it religiously as I used to. If you know me, you know my story. If you're a close friend of mine, you'll know that for a long time, I was very fixated in what was in the scale. I thought that I needed to be a certain weight in order for me to look good, and I didn't realize that muscle tends to weigh more than fat. What would happen is I would lift and I wasn't losing weight. I was staying at a plateau, or sometimes I even gained weight, and I felt very discouraged until I realized that even though I was staying in the same weight, I was losing inches. I went in the beginning of 2016, I was size 8 pants. I'm currently a size 2. In a whole year, I lost 6 sizes. I went in 6 sizes down on my pants. And I still lost, obviously, I lost pounds. I thought that for being a size 2, I was supposed to be way smaller in regards to weight. So don't get fixated with the weight. I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'm just gonna give you guys my last tip. Again, I'm just gonna give you guys 5 tips just for the sake of this video. If you guys want me to add more tips, definitely let me know. My last tip for you guys is to make water your default beverage. Even though I told you guys to start small, try to slowly transition yourself where the water is your #1 beverage. A lot of health guides explain that you have to have 8 glasses of water a day to make sure that you're hydrated. But honestly, if water is the thing that you reach for every single time, you won't even have to track your water intake. And to be honest with you, your thirst mechanism should be able to tell you when you will need your water. One thing that I try to encourage is if you don't know how many ounces of water you should have in order for you to become hydrated, I personally just grab my weight, I divide it by 2, and that's the amount of ounces that I drink in a day in order to keep myself hydrated. But that's just my personal thing. It's just the thing that I do. Water is so important. It's one of the most important things that we need in our body. You know, you can last longer being hungry than being dehydrated. In order to keep our digestive system going, it's important for your kidney functions. It's important for your skin in order for it to stay hydrated. You know, if water is not your thing, I know that I have some friends that cannot stand the taste of water, then try to add different things, you know, lemon. I normally add lemon to my water, especially in the morning. Cucumber, fruits, you know, infuse those things into your water, and it's gonna give it a little bit more taste. But I can guarantee you that if you drink more water, you will feel a lot better. Plus, it will make you pee a lot more, which will help you with the release of toxins that are in your body. It's gonna help you flush out all those bad toxins, and it's gonna help you keep yourself healthier. I hope that these tips helped you guys. I just wanted to give you a few tips. You know, these are things that as I was trying to research for you guys, I realized that sometimes when I get so caught up in the health, in, you know, eating healthy and all this stuff, that I kind of forget sometimes that I need to drink water. I kind of forget that I shouldn't be so hard on myself. So I really hope that this really does help you guys. Also, if you haven't already, I want to put my social media right here, my Instagram and my Snapchat. I Snapchat a lot, actually. I've become quite obsessed with Snapchat, but I will put that here. And then if you want to see more of my videos, I am very excited. 2017, I have a lot of great ideas and I can't wait to show you guys. But I will put the subscribe button right here, so that way you can get notified when I post new videos. And with that being said, I hope that you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.